Hello, YouTube friends. Ben Ochart here. Thank you so much for tuning in. And today I want to go over the fish that have actually been moved into the 150. You know, we had some changes recently related primarily to the aggression that was going on and that I was trying to actually spread around by adding more fish. I did so, and but in going over it with you, I might not have actually given you the full picture of everybody that is now in the tank behind me. So I thought it'd be a good time to do one of these stock report type videos where I get into what it is that's going on in the tanks and what fish are actually in them. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into today's subjects. What fish are actually in the 150-gallon African Cichlid tank? If you're new to the channel, if this is your first time here, and you like learning about how to take care of fish, you know, and you're interested in all things fish keeping and especially African cichlid related, even though what I talk about applies pretty much to all fish keeping, be sure to hit that bell and hit that subscribe button, and that way you'll always get notifications of when I upload new material. So as you know, recently I brought a lot of fish over. I discussed it in the video. I'll put a link up here on that video where I discussed the desperate measures, and I talked a little bit also in the live stream about what I had to do to spread out some of the aggression. So I want to go ahead and just sort of introduce you here to all the fish that are in the tank behind me, and you can see him here, and it's you have no idea how pleasurable it is for me to see that Fusco right there in the middle of the screen, lower middle, swimming across from left to right, now turning back around the other way, and he was pretty much just concealed in the background and not doing much until just recently, and so I'm happy to see him out and about. He was essentially being corralled in the corner by the Malawi Trout, and so let's go over these fish. Here we have a deep water. This is called a deep water Electra, and it's a Buccochromis. And since I moved him to this tank, his body became a little bit lighter, and his fins, his anal fin, the bottom of his tail, the black stripe on his side, the black stripe across the eye have all become more black. That might be because of the white substrate. Here we have what is called a turquoise hap right in the middle of the screen, and this is a fish that will eventually become very green and blue. This is referred to as an electric blue. It is a hap that is pretty much as colored up as it's going to be. I love the white blaze on the forehead, the little bit of yellow on the tip of the anal fin. I have two small Livingstoni in here, which are brothers of the much larger one. And of course, this is the Malawi Trout. This is about a 10-inch fish, and really the reason why I had to make all the changes. This is referred to as a borlei, but not a redfin borlei, but a borlei quad. And here's the Fusco back in his corner. This was actually filmed prior to that last video. So he is out and about much more, but he is still a bit shy. The boss of the tank, of course, continues to be the Venusis. This is a 10-inch plus fish, very thick, very heavy. Raised him up from a half-inch fry, and he was the sort of the pick of the litter. I got 3 for $10, and I kept that one. I also have what you would call a not an albino, but more of a dragon blood back there, and there is a long nose in the back there, and this one with the orange blaze on the forehead is a sort of a hybrid of a Xerox, and this is the fire hap going across the screen here. Beautiful fish picked up from Live Fish Direct, and that is actually a cousin to the Taiwan reef. And there is that long nose, very beautiful fish. Picked him up from James over at the Cichlid Shack. And here is the sand diver, much smaller in this tank, much lighter in the with the white substrate. That's an imperial, and Just a very beautiful fish. We'll have eventually more yellow and in the body. The face, of course, is turned very nicely blue. That's referred to as an imperial. And so the Fusco in the corner, and another one of the small livingstoni. Let's see how those livingstoni get along with this big brother here as they put on size. Not sure if he'll see them as a threat. I think they're both males, so it could get real interesting. In the back corner there we have the eye biter. You got a glimpse of him. This is the Buccochromis Notitania. Bukunodo, they call him sometimes. And even though I'm seeing little sparks of color in the gills, I don't think this is... you see the rounded anal fin and the rounded end, back end of the dorsal. Usually those would be a bit pointed at this point if you have a male. Just one of the things you look for. This is the eye biter that I picked up again from Josh over at the Cichlid Shack. And this is my super red empress from Live Fish Direct. Beautiful specimen, beautiful example. Doing much better now than the first time I had him in the tank, where he was getting beaten up pretty bad and I had to put him back in the 100, where he recovered, put on a little bit of size and weight, and now he's doing much better. There's the hawk. Just a beautiful hawk. Again, picked him up from the Cichlid Shack in Arizona. James Largo. Look him up if you need some quality fish. Just a beautiful specimen, male hawk. And it seems to have adapted pretty well here in the larger tank. When you bring fish over, you change the pecking order and the chemistry, and you always cross your fingers and hope for the best. He seems to have been grooved in. He seems to have, sort of found himself fairly comfortable. I also have, of course, a very large Pleco. Bought him when he was very small, and he's gotten very big in this tank. Nobody picks on him, of course, because Plecos, as you know, are armor-clad, and sometimes they can get beaten up in cichlid tanks. You got to keep an eye on them. So that's pretty much the stock in this tank currently, and of course the Venusis there, continues to be the boss of the tank, and nobody's really messing with that Venusis, and I'm glad, because he's actually a very calm tank boss. If you have any questions about this stock that I have currently in this tank, where I got them, or any questions about that particular fish, or if maybe I missed a fish, be sure to comment below, let me know. And also be sure to visit on Saturdays for the Cichlids and Coffee live stream. We get into a lot of fish topics there. And we have a great group on Facebook. It's over 7,000 members now, the Ben.o.cichlid. Very helpful group, open to all types of fish keepers. And I also have an Amazon store. You can see the link under the video. If you want to pick up anything on Amazon, use the link. It helps the channel. And also follow on Instagram at ben.o.cichlid, and visit my Teespring store to support the channel with some merchandise. So there's the plug. I appreciate you stopping by. Be sure to hit that bell, hit that sub button. I thank you so much, and I do appreciate your support of the channel, and I hope to see you on Saturday. Bye-bye.